Hi, this is Dr. Kang's scuba diving story. In 1997, I went to Grand Cayman Island with my wife. Been there for 5 days diving, and then after the first day of diving, they only let me do 2 dives a day. Now most resorts are 3 dives. But anyway, after finishing the first days of diving, I met a very nice looking, old looking gentleman walking out of a boat, and he had a flushing face, looking very happy, and I asked, "Sir, how old are you?" 80. Wow, how long have you been diving? 1 hour. He has just finished his experience diving with his son-in-law. I noticed he had a pacemaker on his left chest. Diving with a pacemaker? And after that, for over 20 some years, I met several couple divers wearing pacemaker and diving. So is it okay? So we'll see today. Pacemaker, what is it? And how does it function? Who needs it? And where do we implant the pacemaker? And is it okay to dive with it? Will be today's overview. Pacemaker is a small battery operated device, and it helps heart to beat regularly. So how does it function? This device uses batteries to send electrical signal to heart and help it pump the right way. It is connected to heart by one or more wire. So this device doesn't always shoot the signal on its own, but it works only when the patients need it. It automatically go on when heartbeat go wrong way. So who needs it? When heartbeat is too slow, when too fast, irregular heartbeat. So if there's any block in heart electrical pathway, this small device will generate the electrical pulse and make the heart muscle contract. So where do we implant it? This is one of the implant site. They can put it on the right side or right over the sternum, depending on where they want to put it, so that there will be shorter distance to heart or more effective electrical pulse to give. So it is subcutaneous tissue where they implant it, so it is very close to the pressure. So that is one of the problem with diving. So pacemaker, is it okay to dive with it? Probably the most important thing to consider is why is he or she wearing that device? If the underlying heart disease is very serious, you should not dive, whether it is okay or not now, because it can go wrong anytime. We don't have any backup pacemaker. We only use one in our chest. Backup pacemakers can be a good idea. Also, does this particular pacemaker work under pressure? So it has to be okay at least at 40 meter, 5 atmosphere, absolute. And also it should be able to endure the fast change in pressure that happens when you descend and ascend. I don't mean to recommend the pacemaker diver to go to 40 meters. No. They have to stay shallow. The shallower the better, but still it doesn't really have to be like 5-6 meters. And also it has to be within no decompression limit so that you can make ascent to the surface anytime you have to. Also overhead environment, cave, cavern, wreck penetration, those are not allowed. So the last person who can decide whether this diver with pacemaker can dive or not is on the doctor who's taking care of the patient, because the doctor knows what the problem he has and what's the option if he dives or not. But there are people diving with pacemaker, and if we get very unlucky to have to wear one of them, we are not really hopeless. So today talked about pacemaker, and a conclusion: we can dive if we can stand the rigor, the pressure, and if we can be responsible for ourselves and our body as well. So it was Dr. Kang's scuba diving story today about the pacemaker and diving, and thank you very much for your attention.